Thank you very much for spending your time with us today. And I want to just reiterate what a marvelous service PracticePay Solutions provides for all of us who are needing that kind of credit card service. And that if you have any questions at all, please just go to their website, which is www.practicepaysolutions.com, and they are delighted to personally assist you in many of the business aspects. And this series is an indication. Education is very important for all of us who are running businesses. And today we are delighted to have Louise Crooks with us. Louise Crooks, the Keys to Clarity coach, is an inspiring holistic business coach, a radio show host, speaker, and co-author of Stepping Stones to Success. She's been featured with Jack Canfield and Deepak Chopra. She supports coaches and healing practitioners in their very first years of business when we all need it so much, taking them from powerful vision of what they want to achieve down a clear and focused path to create a prosperous reality. Louise helps her clients to step out into the world to create visibility in their business, to be seen as an expert in their field, and to fill their practice with the right clients. She believes in creating a solid business foundation so that everything you do going forward has maximum impact for you and your clients. She loves sharing the power of social media, using Facebook and online radio as platforms for visibility, as well as other online and offline marketing strategies. Louise has been featured as a guest speaker at the International ICF Conference in Orlando and the ICF chapters in New York and New Jersey, in Michelle Shubnell's Coach and Grow Rich live event in San Francisco. Must have been a lot of fun, in colleagues, group coaching, and mastermind programs, as well as many radio shows and networking events. She has a successful show called Keys to Clarity Radio, where she interviews thought leaders and authors in the health and well-being field, as well as self-growth business leaders, so that you can continue to grow your soul-driven business and live the balanced, spiritual, and prosperous life you desire while helping others. We are so excited to have you with us here today, Louise. Thank you so much for sharing your brilliance with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Carol. I'm excited to be here. And just a quick addendum to what you were saying earlier is that, I love working with PracticePay Solutions. Their customer service is awesome. I use their credit card processing facilities, and I've always been so impressed by their level of attention to their clients. So I just wanted to reiterate that for you.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so thrilled to be talking today about creating your juicy opt-in gift. So I want to welcome everyone here who's listening to this call, Creating Your Juicy Opt-in Gift, the gateway to building your tribe and many more sales and clients. And it truly is that. So I'm excited to, really dive deeply into this topic with you. You're going to be getting a lot of great information, and I always get such wonderful feedback when I do this presentation. So get your pens and papers ready and get settled in and have a nice drink, and make sure you don't have any distractions, because you won't want to miss any of the information I'm going to be sharing. So I also want to say thank you for being here. I know it takes it takes a commitment to carve out the time in your schedule to be on the call live, or even to be listening to the recording. So I want to acknowledge you for that. And I am able to cover quite a lot of information today, but I won't be able to cover everything. So, I want to be able to give you a way to help you move forward with your juicy opt-in gift, and I'll be able to share how to do that a little bit later on in the call as well. But I am just excited and thrilled, and I can't wait for us to dive in.
Okay.
Great.
Take it away.
Perfect. Thanks, Carol. So let's go to our next slide. So your freebie, which is another word for your opt-in gift, it's sometimes called a freemium, a freebie, an opt-in gift. There's quite a few different names for your gift, but your freebie is the make or break of your online business. And I know that that is a really powerful statement to be making right at the beginning of this call. So I really want to get your attention and make sure you're listening, because this is so important. If you're really serious about building a tribe you can communicate with for a long time to come, your freebie is going to give you the opportunity to do that. If you want to give potential clients a taste of what's to come so they stick around, your freebie is going to be the key to that. They want to have a taste of what it is that you have to offer, so that they'll decide whether they want to stick around. And if you want to sell your products and programs on an ongoing basis and don't feel like you're constantly starting from scratch, then your freebie becomes the key to having folks opt into your email list for you to be able to do that, rather than trying to gather those people for your programs every single time you do one. So those are just a couple of things that I can share with you right now that indicate how important your freebie is. I know there are a few more, and I'll touch on those as we go along. The first thing I think it would be really important to understand is what is an opt-in gift, particularly for those who are a little new to this. And there will be some of you who will be looking to up-level your opt-in gift. You're also in the right place. So first of all, let's clarify, what is an opt-in gift? So an opt-in gift is that special something that someone offers when you sign up for to hear more from them and to experience their expertise. So you land on someone's site and you're looking around and you see something really awesome that they're offering on their homepage, and you sign up in their little opt-in box on that page to get their gift and to experience the offer that they've put out there. An example of that might be, say, for example, that they are sharing five tips around something specific, or an opt-in gift can also be an article or a video or audio series. And there are lots more types of opt-in gifts, and we'll go into those in a little bit more detail a little later on as well. An opt-in gift has an opt-in box for folks to enter their email address and name, and it has an autoresponder connected to it to deliver the information, preferably over a period of time. So I'll share a little bit more about that a little later, because you might be wondering what I mean by that. But that's the basics of an opt-in gift, and we'll go into a little bit more detail in a moment. But on the next slide, it says no lemons allowed. And what I really want to emphasize here is that so often there will be opt-in gifts out there that have already been created, but really aren't doing the job that they're meant to be doing. And people who are creating gifts that just aren't up to scratch for whatever reason. And we'll go into a little bit of detail around the things you want to avoid doing when you are creating a gift, and the things you want to really be doing to make your gift juicy, and juicy not in a lemony way. So we'll make sure that you are not creating lemons, but really creating lemonade through your opt-in gift. So what makes a free gift crucial? I'm going to dive into this a little bit more here. A free gift is so important because you don't want to lose those potential leads that as soon as they land on your website. You know, those people who have found your website for whatever reason and land on your site, take a look around maybe for a minute or two, and then go off again. And if you don't have a gift that's compelling for them to say yes to, you'll never probably hear from those people again, so they disappear into the ether. That to me is just heartbreaking, because there's the lost opportunity of being able to work with someone who could have been your ideal client, and being able to do the work that you love in the world, and also to be able to have that person get the help that they need. So this is really, really important. Your free gift creates lead generation and lead capture. What do I mean by that? So lead generation is the opportunity to create interest in your website and bring people to your website to sign up. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then lead capture is actually when people put the information into that opt-in box. So traditionally we would look at a free gift as being a lead capture experience where someone's come to the website, is putting their information into that little space where they put their name and their email address, and then they are on your email list, and that would be lead capture. But there is a lead generation piece here as well, and it's really about where you're getting those people coming from and how you're bringing them to your site, and often you're doing that by the invitation to experience your opt-in gift. The next thing is that a free gift is crucial to help you build your list. Many of you are probably really keen on knowing what it takes to build your email list. You're told probably by many community leaders in the coaching and entrepreneurial industry to be working on building your list. Without your free gift, building your list becomes extremely difficult. So this is one of the most crucial things that you need to be building your list. And I'll talk a little bit more about ways to use your gift beyond the gift that we are putting on our homepage, which is what we're really focusing on today. Your free gift also creates value, and by sharing something of the value that you have created, and shows off your expertise. So people really get to know, like, and trust you. You might have heard that phrase before, through the experience of your opt-in gift. And it gives you the opportunity to nurture your list over time. So when someone opts in for your free gift and they're on your email list, then you get to nurture them through a courting process, really, a bit like when you're dating, because they might not be ready to buy from you at this outset, just like someone wouldn't be ready to get married the moment they meet someone. So you get an opportunity to nurture that list over time, those people who have joined your list. And what that means is that you get to then create more client sales and fill more programs when the time is right for the client. So it's not always going to be when you first connect with them. And your free gift is crucial because it's a good reason to continually be inviting folks to your website and help them to step into your inner community, which I also call your email list. Okay. So here's the thing. Your gift is either a bottleneck to your business success or a gateway to your business success. And ideally, what we want to have is it be a gateway, so that you are filling your community with amazing people who you are just absolutely excited to work for and jumping out of your bed in the morning to work with them and feeling very joyful about that. And the things that you're doing to create your juicy opt-in gift will create the gateway. But if you are not doing certain things, or you don't have a gift, you're creating a bottleneck in your business. And it means that you're not allowing those people to jump onto your email list in a way that's going to be supportive to you or them. Okay, so we're going to work on it being a gateway. So what makes an opt-in gift juicy? So that's the key, isn't it? I said we wanted to create a juicy opt-in gift, not just an opt-in gift. So there are 4 things that I believe that make an opt-in gift juicy. There are probably a couple more, but today I'm going to share 4 with you. One is to make sure that the title of your opt-in gift is compelling. That means that it's enticing. It means that when someone sees the title, it has meaning for them. It's addressing a real need that's important to them. Now, I got an email recently from someone who said that he had no one signing up for his gift, and even though free was highlighted in bright colors, red and green, I think he said, and that just doesn't cut it. In fact, you might actually find that that was a turnoff because it might have looked a little garish, and what you really want is something that looks professional, looks great, and the title itself is actually going to be something that's going to really get the attention of your audience. And a way to do that is to make sure you're addressing a challenge that they are wanting to solve. That's a great way to approach it. Okay, so that's point number one for what makes it juicy is making sure that your gift title is compelling. And you might need to brainstorm that with someone like myself or a colleague. Make sure that you're doing it with someone who understands your topic and your audience. Okay. The second thing that makes your gift juicy is having a graphic to go with your gift. I think this is really important because what you really want is for someone to land on your page and to have their eyes drawn to the gift. And when you have a graphic that's eye-catching, it can be really helpful to be attractive to the person landing on the page. It could be a banner or a picture that you've created that's in alignment with the topic that you've chosen for your gift. And it could be even reflective of the type of format that you're delivering that gift in. So, for example, if it's a CD or an audio, you could have maybe a picture of a CD or a picture of some earphones and little figures inside the earphones or something like that. So you can really play around with this and get creative. Okay, so that's what makes a gift juicy. Point number 2 is having an eye-catching graphic. Point number 3 is consider different learning styles and different formats. And there's a reason why I say this. So what also makes it juicy is being offered in a couple of different, is the gift being offered in a couple of different formats, similar to how you see a blog post might also have an audio element. This means it's appealing to different learning styles. And in NLP terms, which NLP, for those who are not familiar with that, is neural linguistic programming, they talk about the different learning styles, visual, audio, kinesthetic. There's 6 of them, but those are the key ones. If we provide our gift in one format, then what we are actually doing is we are ignoring a certain part of our community who maybe their learning style is a different one to the one that you sent out that gift in. So when I say format, I'm talking about, an email where you're reading it, or an audio where you're listening to it, or a video where you're watching it and listening. So you want to be sure that you're thinking about serving your community from the point of view of taking into account all the learning styles that are out there, particularly the main 3 that I talked about. And you can make a combination gift where you can send out, say, for example, an audio and a transcript of that audio, which is something that I actually do in my program, the Business Springboard, because I know how important it is to be able to cater to both those learning styles. The other thing is also that when you do cater to someone's learning style, is that you also have a better chance of that person experiencing the gift. I'm sure you have had the experience where you've downloaded a gift and you've never looked at it again. So what you really want to do is make sure that the gift that someone downloads is going to be experienced, it's going to be consumed. And when we are able to pay attention to this particular piece, I think there's more chance of that happening. Okay, so this is quite an important one, and maybe something you haven't been thinking about up till now. We tend to favor the learning style that we have, and so that's something to just take a look at. It means if they are going to consume that gift, they're going to experience the value that we provide in a deep way. And the problem with living in a world with a short attention span means that we need to pay attention to this piece. So that's just something about really taking a look at the learning styles and different formats that cater to those learning styles. So that's point number 3, to make your opt-in gift juicy. And point number 4, let's move on to point number 4, is making your gift of real value. So this is, I have seen some horrendous gifts out there where they just skim the surface, really it's very broad, it's very little information, and I feel like I've wasted my time. And I probably have less respect for them than I did to begin with when I have had that experience. So what we really want to do here is look at a juicy opt-in gift as also giving it a topic of real value, where we're actually giving a deep slice of our knowledge. But it's a deep, thin slice. So think of a big Black Forest chocolate cake, which is my favorite. If we only give part of the top of the cake, say the frosting, in other words, we're skimming and giving just a little bit of value and having a general approach to your audience with your gift, the potential client is left wanting and unsatisfied. So just think about it. If someone served you cake, but all they gave you was the frosting, that would be pretty disappointing. So we want to give a deep but thin slice of our knowledge, all aspects of the cake, all the sponge part, the middle bit, and the top as well. And then we get a chance to give the client a real taste of value and have them feel satisfied and complete, but at the same time be left wanting in the sense of, oh, I want to hear more of what you have to say. So that's really important. And I know that this can be a challenge for a lot of folks out there. You might be thinking, well, I don't want to give away the farm. That can be something that might be a little worrisome for you. And but the key here is that you could probably talk about your area of expertise for a couple of days on end without stopping. And so when you think about the gift that you're creating, if it's an audio for half an hour or an hour or a report, you really aren't giving them everything, but you want to give them something of real value. So don't hold back. They'll just want more. Okay.
I like the analogy of the cake. I'm going to take that one. That's an excellent.
And look,
oh, there it is.
that cake just depicts the perfect, idea of deep value versus skimming the surface. And although the frosting, I'm sure, tastes really wonderful, it's just nothing without the rest. So, yeah, this is just so important, because I think a lot of people hold back on feeling that they're going to give away too much when they make something of real value. And that really isn't the case at all. If anything, people will be coming back for more. I'm just taking a sip of water here because my throat's getting a little scratchy. Okay, so those are the 4 things that make your opt-in gift juicy. So people are probably wondering out there, what types of gifts are there? And you're wondering what kind of gift to create. There are very many choices. I'm just going to go through a few here that I think are valuable to know about. And the first I'll mention is assessments. I think that's probably one of my favorites, just because people get a sense of, get an opportunity to self-assess. They get to learn something about themselves, and they get to learn about it really quickly. And the beautiful thing about assessments is that they also get to recognize where they are, in terms of the challenge that you're addressing with them, and it can indicate that they need support. So it gives you a really good reason to be able to reach out to them and invite them to take that next step. So self-assessments are really wonderful because people love them, and it also gives you great information. So that's one I would recommend. Another one is email series. Types of gifts is an email series, and this is probably a very common one out there. It's probably one of the easiest to create when you have an autoresponder set up in on your system, on your email, attached to your email list. And this is where you would send out, say, for example, some tips, 5 tips over a period of time, say over 5 days, a tip a day, or maybe 5 tips over a period of 2 weeks, one every couple of days, where they will open your email and that tip will land in their inbox that day, and they'll focus in on that one tip. And what's great about that, and I think is great in doing a series of anything when it comes to your gifts, is that there are multiple touches with your client, your potential client. So they're getting to experience you over and over instead of just once, and that builds the trust and respect and value and credibility that you're looking to build. And they're getting to know you through that. So they're more likely to be opening your emails when they have gone through that experience. So here are just a couple of examples. So 5 tips to explore your next career move, or 5 tips to immediate immediate relief for stressed out new moms. And you can see how that can really just get to the heart of what the person is experiencing and what they're looking to get. So that's something to think about. And using numbers when you're creating a title for an opt-in gift is also quite helpful. 3 of this and 2 of that, and actually 2 is probably not a good number. 3 or 5 or 7, those tend to be good numbers when you're creating a gift and you want to send that out in parts. The next one is your audio series, and this is actually another favorite of mine. I think audio is really awesome, and the reason why I think it is so amazing is because it doesn't hamper you from being able to move around and do what it is that you need to do. It means you can download it, put it on your iPhone, your iPod, your smartphone, whatever it is that you use, and you can go off and go to the gym, go for a walk, go for a drive in your car, and you're getting to listen to your audio while you're doing it. And I have to say, the only time I listen to audio tends to be when I'm in the car. So I need to be able to have something I can listen to without having my eyes attached to a screen. So this is really important because it gives people more option, more flexibility around how they are experiencing your gift. So that's it. And I say series because, again, you could be sending out an email with a podcast in each of those emails for that tip if you're sending it out as tips, for example. The next one is video series, and I'm listing it in here because people are thinking video is what you would use for an opt-in gift, and I would be careful with this one. Video is awesome. It's an amazing tool, and it's fabulous for marketing, but it's not the greatest tool for an opt-in gift. And the reason why I say that is, it goes back to what I was saying about the audio, is because you can't download it and take it with you unless you have an iPhone. But again, you have to have your eyes on a screen, and a lot of people are going to be trying to check it out on their laptop, and it means they have to focus in on that for a length of time, and it's just not the ideal format for your gift. So it's perfect for launches, for product launches, program launches, for creating a marketing strategy, but it's not the greatest use of that tool for an opt-in gift. It's also a more complicated way to start out. So if you are starting out, you want to stick to the simple things or get support in creating something professional. Another one is reports. And that's a very easy way to get started. It's not going to be too long. It's going to be something that really reflects the value that you're providing around a specific topic. And you don't have to, get caught up in the technology piece. And it's just really easy to do. Just whip something up on a Word document. Of course, you want it to look professional as well. but it's an easy way to get started. And then the last one I listed there, and as I said, there are many out there. I'm just listing a few here. An ebook is also a common gift that one might think of doing for an opt-in gift. Now, I have some reservation about the ebook, and an ebook is awesome, but it will only appeal to a certain part of your audience, the part of your audience that's probably a little bit more kinesthetic, depending on how long your ebook is, because ebooks do tend to be 20 pages plus, and you want to make sure again that you're going to have someone who's going to actually read that ebook. So I would stick to short bursts of information as being a preference to the type of gift that you have. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about the option of having more than one gift, and I'll bring that back into play there, just so that we can use that as a a possibility. All right. So I want to go into the common mistakes to avoid when you're creating your opt-in gift. And I'll just pause for a moment. Carol, any questions or thoughts coming up from you at the moment?
No, I think you're going to cover it, because I was considering about an example for a couple of them, and you started with that, so that's perfect.
Awesome.
You just carry on. Sure.
Great.
Sure.
Great. I'm taking lots of notes. Perfect. Great. Okay, so common mistakes to avoid when you're creating your opt-in gift. And there are a few. I've listed 6. So here are some mistakes folks are making when they think what they're doing is compelling enough reasons for people to sign up. And the first is offering a newsletter as the opt-in invitation rather than a gift itself. And it's similar to what it used to be like 5 years ago, where you could get away with not having a website. You were able to still attract the clients. Now it's an absolutely essential thing to have a website. And it's a little similar to that now with a newsletter. It used to be enough to be able to invite people onto your list because of a newsletter. A newsletter will be enough if it's someone that knows you well, or has read something of yours somewhere else, and they are really interested in what you have to say on an ongoing basis. But most people are coming to your website not knowing who you are, so they don't know that they want to get your newsletter. You've got to remember that a lot of people are dealing with lots of information flooding their inboxes, and this could be just another one. So offering a newsletter on its own just isn't going to cut it any longer. And the same with offering a strategy session. That's mistake number 2. A lot of folks do think that offering a strategy session as an opt-in gift is going to be is going to work. And the key here is that a strategy session is valuable. I don't want you to think that I don't believe that that's not valuable, because it really is. I mean, having a conversation with you and talking about whatever it is that your client is dealing with is really important. But they haven't developed the trust with you yet to be able to take what feels like quite a big step. So, that's something to think about. You want to establish some trust before you offer the strategy session. Okay, so number 3 is speaking to a broad audience when you're creating your gift. When you're creating your gift, you really want to be making sure that you're talking to a specific group of people, a group of people that really have a common challenge or focus and in how you're supporting them. And the broader your audience and the broader your topic is, the harder it is to get their attention, because they really want to know that you are speaking directly to them. So, a bit like, speaking to 5 tips to relieve stress for new moms is very clear and specific, because you've identified who the audience is, and you're talking about what their challenge is that you're going to help them with. So, just be very careful about that. I think a lot of people feel like they should be speaking broadly because then they're going to capture, that they'll be able to, capture everyone in that broad topic. And unfortunately, the opposite happens. I know it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it, Carol?
It does, but I hear it over and over again, and I think it's such good advice. Be specific.
Specific and focused, absolutely. And I know that it's a challenge for a lot of folks out there who, resisting the idea of narrowing in and creating that narrower focus. But it truly does work better for you, and you'll end up helping more people because of it. So let's move on to the next 3 mistakes. Number 4 is thinking an opt-in box is enough without the bells and whistles. And so, just saying, opt-in here to get my updates and ask for their email address and name just isn't going to cut it. Again, you might have gotten away with that a while back and maybe invited them to, get your newsletter with that. But it just isn't enough. You need something that's compelling because people are flicking through websites, they're scanning and surfing the web, and you want to be able to keep them there long enough to be able to take that step. The 5th mistake is placement of the gift on the website. So you want to make sure that your gift is actually above the line, which means that it comes from the old term of newspapers. When you had a newspaper folded over, the things that you saw at the top of the newspaper, which was above the line, the fold is the line, are the things that you're going to notice first. And it's the same with your website. The moment you need to scroll down, you're moving below the line. So if you have a gift that you can't see the moment that you land on your website, then there's a problem. So you want to make sure that your gift is actually going to be in a prominent place the moment people land on your site and they can see it. Another mistake, number 6, is getting stuck with perfectionism. So many people want everything to be perfect, and I hear this from my clients over and over, and I understand it's just one of those things some of us deal with, and that does crop up for me occasionally too. Or the other thing is having a lack of knowledge, or just not knowing where to start, and not seeking help when you are actually in that place. So I had to put that picture in there because it's that place of feeling stuck and not knowing how to budge. And the only way that woman is going to get out of there is someone actually digs her out. So I want you to know that support is available to you if you need it, and to not be shy to ask for that if you don't have the knowledge or you just don't know where to start. And just having a couple of things revealed to you in some way might actually help you step out into those next steps. Okay. So how do you get started? If you're feeling stuck, you might be feeling stuck, you can't figure out where to start, you need help brainstorming and guidance to creating a topic that's appropriate and narrow enough for your audience. You don't want to figure out all the how-tos. I think a lot of us are in that space. Knowing what will best suit your audience, because sometimes we know who we serve, but we just cannot land on that topic that we want to talk about or focus in on, or maybe we just don't know how to narrow that focus. And when you want something really great that's professional and really highlights your expertise and credibility. So these are all things that I know, many folks are looking for when they are wanting to get started. Mm-hmm. So I want to introduce the Business Springboard. I mentioned earlier, Carol, that I would make sure that people had a way to move forward, bearing in mind that I wouldn't be able to cover everything today. And there's a wonderful opportunity through a program that I offer called the Business Springboard, which which I'm just thrilled to talk about because I just love this program. But, but before I do that, I want to share with everyone that I have a special gift for you. You know, I said earlier how I really appreciate your taking the time to listen. And so a little later on, I'm going to be sharing a special URL for you to have a gift from me, a PDF download called your Juicy Title List, ideas for your Juicy Opt-in gift title, and gifts that work. So it's a list of gifts that I know are out there that are working, and there's some cool titles in amongst those as well, and it really helps us to kind of get the juices flowing. So I'll be sharing a little bit more about that later. So stick around.
That's terrific, Louise. My question is, what about the titles?
Exactly. It's like, how much time do we have? And exactly, you know, titles can be such a big one for folks. So I know and it's such a great little gift. And again, you can see how I did that. You know, you won't be having to opt in for that gift, but you know, by getting that, you'll see how simple it was for me to create, and it's something of real value. So just you know, watch and learn. And what I also will be sharing after I've talked about the Business Springboard is when having more than one gift is a good idea. And I've got some juicy stuff to share about that. And how you can use your gift in multiple ways to increase sending new connections to your list. And I'll also be sharing a couple of steps to help you get started. So I'm excited to share those with you as well. I always think it's important for people to have action steps to walk away with. Okay.
Very helpful.
Excuse me. Let me just have another swig of water, that is. All right. So to follow along, what I would recommend everyone do, if you're actually on your computer, is to go to the link on the screen, which is keystoclarity.com/PPS. And PPS, of course, is short for Practice Pay Solutions. And that will give you an opportunity just to see what's happening and what I'm talking about. So the Business Springboard is an opportunity where you get to create an amazing gift, professionally done, with an experienced coach and interviewer. That is me, moi. And I say that without trying to blow my horn, but I feel like I'm probably going to have to in this instance, is just share that, you know, in my past life, I used to work as a recruitment consultant in London, in the UK. And so I have spent years and interviewed thousands of people, pulling out the best of who they are to be able to present that to my clients. And so part of the process that we'll be going through with the Business Springboard is that I will be doing that for you. And then the second part is that I also have an online radio show. And I have interviewed so many hundreds of amazing guests on this show, and I have the ability to put people in their best light based on, you know, what it is that their expertise is, and to be able to bring out the best of who they are. So it's a wonderful combination, and I'm able to do that in helping support you have an amazing audio gift created. And I've also put on, you can see on the slide, that there's a transcript that is also created with that audio, so that you can present that gift in a couple of different formats, which helps with the learning styles piece. And the reason why I'm so excited again about the Business Springboard and the way that we do it is, you know, in terms of creating an audio, is that I think audio is one of the best ways of creating a gift and delivering a gift, because it's so easy for people to download and take with them. The second thing you're going to get from the experience with the Business Springboard is you're going to have the opportunity for great exposure through an international online radio show platform. So what happens is I will be creating this audio with you by interviewing you live on a radio show, and this radio show is dedicated to the Business Springboard. The radio interview will become the audio gift for your site, and it will also drive traffic to your site on a continual basis beyond creating this gift. So I like to think of it as the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. So the Business Springboard will also create opportunities to speak on other radio shows and media events, especially if you're starting out and this is something that is going to prepare the way for you. It's going to open that gate, so to speak, for you, and it will be the beginning of those opportunities for you. The audio will can also be used to introduce yourself to potential speaking bureaus and speaking opportunities. So if someone is interested in hearing whether you are a good speaker or not, you can just send them the audio. And the audio, the gift, will allow you to create credibility for yourself and be elevated to the role of expert. So this gift creation, it's a done-for-you gift creation in a sense, because you don't need to know the how-tos. But I'll be taking you through a process, a very special customized process, where each person will be taken through individually with me, going through creating your gift, creating the topic, understanding what it is that you're going to say on that interview, and going through a preparatory process, and then being ready to go onto the interview, and then having your audio created, and it will be edited so that it'll be ready to go onto your website. And at the same time, the original interview will stay on the radio show so that it continually attracts people to the interview to send to your website. So I just wanted to share a couple of awesome points about previous clients I've had on the Business Springboard and what's possible. And this is fairly common, so I don't want you to think that these are crazy numbers. They look crazy because you think, wow, those are big numbers. But the reality is that it's pretty common. So anything is possible. One of my latest clients, Dr. Alison Grinston, has had almost 6,000 people listen to one of her interviews, and I think I interviewed her about a month ago. So that is just awesome. And then Deborah Oakland, she's an author, a personal growth author, has had over 7,700, and I interviewed her about 2 months ago. Maybe it's 2 or 3 months ago. Judy Stone Goldman, another self-help author, has had over almost 8,800. I was looking at these numbers last night. And a holistic healer, amazing woman, Lynette McKenzie, has had almost 4,100 listens to her interview. So these are just examples of what's possible. And just think of the number of people you could be attracting through the web, through your interview, who will then be curious to be going to your website and wanting to sign up to hear more from you. Fabulous. Yeah. So that's just the awesome side effect. It's the side effect of creating your professional gift that folks coming to your website from other sources will sign up for. So what I mean by that is you're going to have all this traffic driven to your website through the radio show interview, but at the same time, when you put your audio gift, audio transcript gift onto your website, you're going to be spending time sending clients to your website to sign up for that gift from other places. So you can't really see the writing very well on this little diagram, but I'll tell you what it is. Joint venture products and referral partners, social media sites like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. Yes. So there are multiple ways that you can be sending people to your website to experience your gift that haven't discovered it through the radio show. Okay, just some important points. For a short time, your investment in the Business Springboard will be deeply discounted, and I'll tell you what that looks like in a moment. The process is individualized to you and your specific audience, so the doors will close when my schedule is full or when the original price returns, and there's a date for that, which I'm not sure about at this point, but you will be informed, so just to make sure that you know that. And at the end of the experience, if you're not satisfied with the results and have implemented the steps required, you may ask for a full refund. And this is my guarantee. You know, it actually is quite a lengthy, in-depth process. Not necessarily lengthy, but it's an in-depth process that requires my time. But I want to make sure that you are completely satisfied with what it is that you're doing. And as long as you've done your best to implement everything we've talked about, then I'm going to be willing to absolutely honor that. So the pricing for the Business Springboard, and again, you can see all this in much more detail and see what you're getting with each of the options on the sales page for the Business Springboard, which is at keystoclarity.com/PPS. You can see the URL on the page there. Option 1 is the expert interview. Now, the expert interview is it's an interview where I get to highlight you as the expert, and you're not necessarily focusing in on a specific topic. So the focus is more on you. And with this particular option, I wouldn't necessarily use it as an opt-in gift. I just want to put that little point in there. Can't think of the right word, but just to make you aware that I think that this particular type of interview with me, this option 1, is perfect to have on your home page as something for people to click on or to have on your About page, because it really gives people a sense of who you are, what you do, your story, and what you're passionate about. And this option is it was $1,895, but for a short time it will be $895 with one payment, $895, or we'll do a special payment plan of $139 for 7 months. So I know that a lot of people are looking at their budgets and how can I do this, so I want to make it easy. So that's option 1, and you'll be able to see it on the sales page as well. Option 2 is creating the opt-in gift, and this is one interview focused on the need of the potential client. So it takes the focus off you and onto the client. What are you supporting them with, the challenge that you're digging into with your topic? And this specific one is a great option. And this is, again, the same pricing as the expert interview, which is, it was $1,895, but for a short time will be $895 for one payment. And if you would like to do the payment plan, you can do that as well, of $139 for 7 months. So that's option 2. And then option 3 is a 3-part opt-in gift. So that's the series, and of course, as I said before, doing a series of something is really valuable, and it gives those short bursts of information. So what we would do is create 3 interviews, which would be shorter, probably more like between 25, 30 minutes each, where you, again, are focusing on the need of your potential client. And this is the most powerful one. And the regular price for this is $2,195 and is now $1,195 one payment. Big discount there for a short while. Yes. And there's a payment plan of $189 per month for 7 months. So that's a payment plan of $189 for 7 months. And again, I just want to make this as easy as possible. And as you can see, the increase from the option 2 to option 3 is not significant. So I highly recommend that if you can do option 3, that would be the way to go. There are some awesome bonus gifts on the sales page. I just want to make a note of that to make sure you have that. And there are a number of them there. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I want to point out two of them that I think are important. The first one is a training I did called Creating Your Niche and your niche. And this is really helpful, particularly when you're trying to dig into your clients and who the gift is for and what the challenges are. So that can be a really valuable thing to listen to. And then the second bonus I want to mention is it's a how-to guide on how to actually upload your gift onto your website if you're a do-it-yourselfer. And I know there are lots out there, and they're probably thinking, how am I going to get my gift onto my website after I'm finished with Louise? So that is something Go To Girls, the VA services, were really kind to give that to me as a bonus, and it's really valuable. So just wanted to let you know you're taken care of there. So I know you might have questions about your gift or the Business Springboard. And so I invite you to book a Juicy Gift Booster Chat with me. It's just a 15-minute call getting all your questions answered. And you can book this by going to budurl.com/juicygift. That's budurl.com/juicygift. And you can book a 15-minute chat with me just to talk about your gift or the Business Springboard, either way. All right. So let's jump into when is more than one gift a good idea? 2 gifts on a home page are more likely to capture your audience's attention. Now, this might be something new to think about. 2 gifts on your home page. And I think it's a great idea because it means that you can give a choice of 2 different topics, and you can offer it in different formats. And so you're catering to, something that's important to your particular client. One might be more important than another. And you might be also touching on a learning style that is a preference to them. So you're more likely to have them to sign up, at least for one of them. Or you can do a bundle gift, and you'll see a fabulous example of that in the gift I'll be sharing you with the Juicy title list that I'll be giving you the URL for in a moment. Okay, so just an example of 2 gifts might be a meditation audio and a free report. And they could be focused on different things, but both, in the umbrella of the niche that you focus in on. Okay, so when more than one gift is a great idea is when you are doing a number of different things like networking, speaking, radio interviews, guests on teleseminars, being a guest on a telesummit. If you're able to offer a gift that's relevant to the topic you're speaking on, and when you are doing these presentations and speaking opportunities, you might be talking on a number of different topics. Maybe you have 3 topics that you would specifically talk about. So then it would be helpful to have 3 or 4 gifts that are absolutely relevant to the topic you're speaking on, which will really help the audience to say yes to jumping onto your email list and getting more value from you. So that is something to think about. However, most important, first things first. Your gift on your home page takes priority over all the other gifts you could create. I really want to make that clear because as I talked about, your gift on your home page is either going to be a gateway or the bottleneck. We want to make sure that you have that gateway in place. Steps to getting started. Here are 3 simple steps. First of all, know your audience. We talked a little bit about that already. Narrow your focus of your ideal client, and then make a list of the challenges that they face. Once you've done that, you can go to step 2, which is pick one of those challenges as the main focus of your topic. This should be a challenge fairly common to your community. And then 3, choose the method of delivery. Is it going to be audio? Is it going to be email? Is it going to be a report? And then just go for it. But if you have these steps in place and you take those steps one at a time, you will find that you will start to move forward in creating your gift. So I want to share your special gift that I said I would give to you for being here and listening, and that is your juicy title list. And you'll see on the screen there, the link to go and get that is budurl.com, budurl.com/juicy gift list. And I put the other URLs on the page as well, just to make sure that you have those for your Juicy Gift Booster call. If you'd like to have a chat with me, that's budurl.com/juicy gift. And to sign up or find out more about the Business Springboard, go to keystoclarity.com/PPS. Thank you so much. I hope everyone's had lots of great information that they've been able to jot down and start thinking about all the things that they could be doing in there with their gift. And I'm excited to hear, what's been happening for you, either through, the Juicy Gift Booster call that you might have with me, if you're going to be working with me on the Business Springboard, or feel free to connect with me on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/keystoclarity, which is my business page, and you can post there and let me know what you thought. Thanks so much, Carol.
Well, thank you, Louise. That's a tremendous amount of information. As I said, I was taking notes. And I love the way that you broke it down into some great steps to get us started, because I think you really hit it. We're searching websites all the time, and the ones that we're interested in are going to pique our interest by that juicy gift, and it's just a great way to bring people to you. And thank you for the valuable tips that you gave us today. So I just want to also thank the audience for their time and for spending the time with us, and Louise, and very much the best of luck with your business, and just make it a fabulous time. Thank you, Louise.
Thanks so much, Carol. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. And I know that, if you're doing this